Fatherhood is one of the few roles in life where the person you are guiding is growing at the same time that you are. A child changes, their questions change, their needs change as well. And somewhere along the way, a father has to change too. There's no single version of fatherhood that works forever. Perhaps part of being a father is learning when to lead, when to listen, when to hold on, and when to give your children room to become who they truly are. In this conversation, we are exploring the evolution of fatherhood, the lessons we inherit, the mistakes we learn from, and the grace it takes to keep growing as a father. I am joined by Pastor Pete Odera, a personal friend and mentor as well for many, many years. Awesome, Pastor Pete.
Wow.
Odera.
There I go.
That is how the universe
has received me.
Knows you as, I know you as a mentor, a father, to me as well. Welcome to Father Studies podcast.
Thank you. I've been looking forward to this for a while.
Yeah, so have I actually.
Yeah.
We haven't caught up also as father-son in a long time.
This is our catch-up.
This is a kind of a catch-up.
Sasa mwana wangu.
Yes, papa.
Utajiripot.
Niseme shida zangu zote. But thank you so much for making time.
You're welcome.
It's such an honor. Thank you for reaching out as well to want to be part of this.
Yeah.
This conversation that we're about to have, mostly centered around fatherhood and manhood.
Right. Whatever that means.
Whatever that means. Yeah. I have known you for quite a number of years. Some of it without you knowing me.
Yeah.
And then a small chunk of it with us actually knowing each other.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Pastor Pete Odera is, I will not let you introduce yourself. I will introduce you.
Okay. I'll be taking notes.
We'll see how I do. But he has been one of the biggest pioneers in the entertainment industry in this country from the 90s, is it?
Correct.
Early 90s.
Correct. A long time ago.
A long time ago. Contemporary pop as you know it.
Yeah.
This is our grandfather right here. Not even father,
grandfather.
Grandfather. And of course, you also are into ministry as well, and have been a pastor for the many years that you have been. I know now you are, do I say, is it retired or
Kenyans don't accept that pastors retire. In Africa, you don't retire. So for 4 years now, I retired from being the senior pastor. So now traveling around the world doing what we're doing.
Yes.
Mentoring, training.
It's such an honor again, as I said, to have you here and to have this conversation on camera. We have a lot of these conversations off camera.
Yeah.
So it's great to have you here. And actually now introduce yourself a bit. If I've left anything out.
Oh no, you did a great job.
Yeah.
So I wear 4 hats. One of them, of course, you've talked about being the minister. For 20 years, I pastored church in Nairobi City.
It's actually, do you say pastored?
It's
become. You've come up with it.
Well, what it is this is kama wewe ni pastor, una pastor. So I led this church, if the more grammatically correct, but I was the senior pastor at the Waterbrook Church for 20 years.
Yeah. 20.
20.
That is my whole career.
Yeah. So for 20 years, I was, and I think being a pastor was part of the growth in being a man, because then in Africa, what tends to happen in Africa is that if you're a pastor, you end up being the father of invariably, I think many of the people who are coming to church were coming from single parent homes or broken fatherhood thing. So for 20 years I did that. A lot of people know me. In fact, on my way up here, I met this lady in the elevator says, "Oh, I know you."
Oh, yeah.
So there's that, where you for the longest time.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of people know me more from my music. Didn't know that.
Yes.
I had another side.
Yeah.
And then for the last 6 years, Okay, I've been in broadcasting, but for the last 6 years, I've been doing a show called Good Morning Africa. We broadcast out of San Diego in California, and it's a music magazine that basically showcases the emerging sound of urban Africa.
Oh, great.
So that's what I do.
And you've won a Stellar Award or nominated.
2 Stellar Awards for that. 2024, 2025. Yeah. So GOD Radio 1, where we broadcast, was the internet station of the year.
Yes.
So this, I like to say this skinny Jaluo boy from this tiny fishing village on Lake Victoria was rubbing shoulders with some of the world's most important thought shapers. It's a great honor to do that. But then also what I'm doing now, I'm focusing on training, mentoring the next generation of leaders for Africa. So this is one of the reasons that I wrote the book, Navigate. It's one of the
shameless plug-in.
One of the shameless plugs. No, one of the things that I'm enjoying doing is talking about the experiences through the book. So I write about some of the experiences that I had as a pioneer musician. We were out there, one of the first groups to get a record deal from a European record label. Just lack of mentorship. There was nobody in my circle because, of course, by that time my uncle, I talked to you about my uncle, Uncle Gordon Ominde, who was a pioneer at that time in Afro, rock, pop, whatever it was that they were doing. He had passed on by that time. So there was just no. So just pioneering that whole. We're not just a gospel group. We're now. I like to tell people how Sauti Sol and Heart the Band are now, but 30 years ago. So we're ahead of our time. So really breaking some barriers, coming into the pop scene, where we weren't outrightly a pop group, or that's not what my intention was. And really just doing that whole thing with the fashion, with just these cultural expressions. Cultural expressions that now became what they now accidentally became what they now call the godfather of contemporary gospel music, and really influencing music in East and Central Africa in a way that is now acceptable. The whole idea that you can do a career in music at that time was unheard of.
Of course.
At that time was unheard of. It was, how you do everything else and then maybe you're a musician over the weekend to play at some hotel or whatever, but really you're an accountant during the week and you do serious things. Music, what is this? So that was the idea at the time.
No, man, I give you your flowers, and I will give you your physical flowers at the end of the show. But I give you flowers because in those days, at that time in the 90s, I was the age that my son is now.
Right?
And it's great. Wow. It's really great to now be here, and you paved that path for us to really maneuver
unbeknownst to me.
Exactly. The things that you do and you don't realize. And myself now, I'm finding myself in that space where I'm meeting 18-year-olds and they're like, oh my gosh, you don't know what you've done for me in my career and everything.
It's so funny.
Bless you.
We had gone to a concert recently with my wife, Karen White, but then Bien was one of the featured artists.
Yes.
And so he was dancing there, and my wife said, "Oh my God, that's you 20 years ago." That's you 20. And I was like, "Oh my goodness!" So I took a screen. You take a picture and you say, "Oh, goodness."
Were you bald as well?
No, I was not. That is a unique bald manadem thing.
Shout out to you, Bien.
And to Aaron and all those.
So
this to me, I don't know that I was consciously fathering. I was too busy living my life.
Of course.
And then, of course, now the other hat that I wear is the name that my wife calls me that I will not tell you.
Okay.
And, so I'm a husband and a father of they're now adults, 2 adult taxpayers.
Oh, great.
They're girls, lady taxpayers.
Over 18.
Yeah, in their mid-20s now, so it's a thing.
Okay, great. So even before we get to now you being a father, because that's why we're here, I like to ask my guests the experience that you had with your own father
Right.
And I mean, it's an open.
We have time.
It's an open. You can talk as much as you want. To be honest, we do have time. We have some time.
Yeah.
But yeah, how was that? With your dad growing up, of course, it's a very different era.
Yes,
I can imagine, and you're. We don't want to say how old you are, but yes,
I'll be turning 57 this year.
Okay, great, good.
I'm almost 60.
Almost 60.
I am almost 60. When the dinosaurs roamed the earth.
and of course, for your dad growing up, you grew up in Nairobi?
Yeah.
Right?
Mostly.
I'd like to know the experience
it was amazing.
Of your father, you and your dad, and your family, your siblings.
I think it was an amazing relationship that I had with my dad. Dad was very different from the other fathers in the community that we lived in.
Yes.
My dad grew up in rural Kenya, went to Maseno. After Maseno school, he went to study abroad. He studied in the US. But his mentor was Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, who eventually became the first vice president and who my dad became speechwriter for.
Yes, you have told me this before.
Yeah, so I got immersed into this world of politics. So my dad was an open thinker because he traveled abroad. He grew up with all these musical influences, political influences, just the very many things that he did. He was a very broad-minded person.
Yeah.
So he allowed us to have, we're 3 kids, my sister, and then my older sister, my younger brother. I'm the sandwich. I'm the meat in the family.
Yeah.
And if you meet him, and if you talk with him, he'll obviously say, no, my brother pretends to be the most important person in the family.
Yeah.
But
I know your brother, of course.
Of course you do. Yeah. The most important person in that family of the kids is my sister, who's just incredibly talented. She's
have you met her? No.
I don't think so. Yeah. Yes, you did, but you don't know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So just this capacity for us to be. My dad was this journalist. My mom worked at the U.S. Embassy at that time, and so we were exposed to this very interesting world where, because of my father's involvement in politics, we were constantly looking over our shoulder. Our phones were tapped. And when I say phones, it's not these ones you carry around. It's the rotary phone. So you couldn't have free conversations on the phone because the government was listening.
But the Gen Z, there was phones before mobile phones.
That was one thing. And then just the whole thing that I took for granted until other people visited us and found the leader of the opposition sitting in the living room, and they were like, whoa, you mean Jaramogi comes to see you guys? Wow, that's amazing. So that whole political thing played a huge part in shaping our thinking and our relationship. My dad was arrested and detained without trial just after I was born. And so
just after you were born.
Just after I was born. So
for how long was
1969 to 1971, I think.
It's 3 years.
2
years.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't yet learned how to count, but history now is telling. So when he came out, how you know he came out is that soon after that, my younger brother was born.
Okay.
So it was almost 2 years. It was now looking back in hindsight, understanding how my mom was surviving, because now we have this young mother with 2 small children. And so we moved into her uncle's place, not too far from here, in Westlands. And then of course they had my mom's uncle's kids. Her cousins had a band, which was Black Savage, Gordon Ominde and them. So that's I grew up around this whole thing. So there's the music side that was growing up exposed to this music, growing up exposed to this politics, and then growing up around church, because when my father went to jail, my mom discovered church. So we grew up around Nairobi Baptist Church, which tended to became one of the most important churches in forming what is now Nairobi's Kenya's pop scene. Many of the young people, there was 2 or 3 churches that were critical in...
Including myself, actually. We went through Baptist as well. Yeah.
Bringing up, look at that, so you're talking about people who came out of that, talking about Eric Wainaina, who's at Five Alive, who was a Parklands Baptist. So there was this cross-pollination. So Parklands Baptist and Nairobi Baptist Church, hands down. You talk about RK, Wahoo, you talk about myself, you talk about Ted Josiah.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of people who owe their roots to those two churches. So that's where, so those three were the pillars. The pillars, let me say, the main flow.
Yeah.
So my dad, because he was detained, dad became an alcoholic.
Yes.
So my father was, so it's now, I'm not saying this to, sort of say this bad alcoholic story.
No.
But I love this man. My dad became a functioning alcoholic. He would drive drunk.
Yeah.
But I now realize back that that's what a functioning alcoholic does.
Yeah.
Be able to just seeming normal, but then he was...
Yeah.
So this... I had...
And how old were you? Were you noticing this as a kid? Or how
we grew up with
processing?
So by the time I was 4 or 5, I was used to the fact that dad would be drunk.
Yeah. And you knew what that was?
Yeah.
Okay.
My family partied. There was parties in our house almost all the time, so it wasn't abnormal.
Yes.
And this is a thing I think in Kenya, but I think in Africa in general, just how we treat alcohol is, we don't look at it as this poisonous thing that's gonna kill the society. We accept it because it's legal poison as far as I'm concerned.
Legal poison.
But and it wasn't just affecting him; it was affecting us. I realized later, after going through therapy and what have you, that these are the things that affected how I view the world. So I grew up with anxiety. Okay. Anxiety that there's policemen, special branch kind of people. So that's always, anxiety.
Looking over your shoulder all the time.
Right. Anxiety of I'm not sure how my father will behave. Because then he might embarrass me. He might do something embarrassing. And fortunately, I never had to, like some of the fathers in the neighborhood, pick him out of a ditch or whatever. But that was my mom's job. My poor mother. And so these are the things. So I grew up with... He wasn't a bad man. I loved him to bits, and anyone who met him will tell you the same story. That what an incredible thinker, what an intellectual. Even when he was drunk, he was a jovial, convivial person.
Yes.
So
convivial. Yes. I've learnt a new word today. Convivial.
So the joie de vivre in our family. The people would come. So our home, like many African homes, became the springboard also because he was the only person of his brothers and sisters that went to university. Okay. So he became the springboard for others. So our home now became the springboard. So people were always in our house. My mom was the eldest daughter of her father and mother. And so I think there was a thing there about now my father being accommodating.
Yes.
At his funeral,
I know about that very well.
Yeah.
As well,
at his funeral, they made an announcement. How many of you were educated by Odera?
Everyone stood there.
And it had like 200 people. 200
Wow.
people. I lit just 200 kids. I said, no wonder we were broke. Look at these guys. You guys were taking our money.
And honestly, that's like an extended way of still being a father figure in so many ways. Because
it was expected.
Yes.
So you see, in their generation, this was expected. There was this modern. When you said being a husband and a father, whatever that means. In my dad's generation, it was very clear. This is what a husband is. This is what a father is.
Yes.
So I feel that he did his father role as best as he could, fighting this government. The government that was fighting him. And then I realized fairly early that Dad is what a man.
Yes.
What was that?
What a man.
What a man.
What a man. Yeah. What a mighty good man.
Yeah. So he was a great guy. I think this guy was an amazing guy. He allowed us to be who we were.
Yeah.
And then exposed us to things that helped us understand how the world was in real time.
It's great. Sorry to cut you.
No, that's fine.
It's great that even with shortcomings that we have as men, of course, that are very evident in certain seasons of our lives, you're still able to see just how honorable of a man he is, how impactful he was in society, in your life as well. And I think that's. I just wanted to mention that. That's amazing.
And so I don't understand. I find it hard to understand. I saw these young people who'd come to when I became a minister, and just walking away from your kids, and your family. I mean, how do you do that? Well, that became a difficult thing for me to understand. And so it shaped how I viewed what family is. So he's staying. And I don't know that it was always rosy. It was difficult, financially, economically difficult for anyone in the opposition then and now. Now is a completely different story. You have by law, the opposition is supposed to be funded. Then you have all these interest groups. At that time,
it wasn't the
just
case.
Scrapping and scraping. So, and then of course,
it was a one-party system as well.
It was a one-party system, and then there was just this whole stigma of being a Luo in Moi and Kenyatta times. It was a big deal, and one of my therapists, plural, explained it to me, that why I became the perfectionist, why I always turned up dressed properly, why I always packed my bag and I was ready to go, because that's how we had to grow up. You had to be ready. This anxiety made you a certain way.
Yes, shaped you.
It shaped me that, you never know when you're shipping out. So be ready. So I understood, okay, I was living with this whole thing. So my dad, just in summary, my dad was a great guy with some flaws. I don't know that his flaws were many. He was honest.
As we all have our flaws.
He was honest. He was very straightforward. But my dad could make friends with anybody. Which my younger brother, I like to say my younger brother, because it is important for others to know that he is
2 years
junior brother. Anyway, but he got this thing from my dad that he could just make friends with anybody.
Yes, he has that for sure.
I'm more selective about the people that I get close to. But that's a thing that he did, capacity to, and it's just really, people these days call it schmoozing, but just the ability, and then again, modernity has made it a thing that we shouldn't change. But that's just a code switch. You should hear when my dad would read, you'd hear this accent, this intellectual English person. Everybody would stop and say, "Who's that guy reading?" And then now suddenly he's then this Jaluo man who's so planted in his culture, and then suddenly he's this intellectual journalist who's doing. So this code switching is a thing we learned. Not that somebody says, okay, now when you are sitting with other people, this is how you talk. And then when you're sitting with other people, you talk like this. But then what my dad did, he allowed us to be in a very cosmopolitan, we grew up in cosmopolitan Nairobi.
Yes.
Our carpenter was a Sikh. And so he would come and do the woodwork only. And then some of my best friends, if you look at I look at some of my birthday parties, I say, hey, here was Shital, was one of my closest friends. But then you had all the other guys who came from just all these different backgrounds. I recently found a photo of me in primary school. And if you look at this picture, you have Shelja Patel, you have Bronya Elderkin, you have Pete Odera and Raiola Osanya standing next to Mr. Mbudhia. And this was 1979 when I just happened to be in junior quiz. And I said, this is saying something about how the world that my father was deliberate about immersing us into. He studied in the US. But he said, my children must be born in Kenya. They cannot be Americans. They have to be Kenyans. Whereas somebody else would look at that and say, sorry.
And now you're the proud father of two amazing girls. Who have identification cards now. Both of them.
ID cards, voters.
And being a parent of two young girls.
Young girls,
How being a girl dad, I guess.
Yes.
How has that impacted you? How do you think even that is different from having boys or a boy?
Yeah. Oh no, it's
how does it change your your thinking?
It does. It's listen. I say, and I don't even say this badly. I thought I would have a boy. I thought I'd have one boy, one girl.
Yeah.
But
a nice perfect balance is what we
and 3 kids, but there's situations that precluded our having a third child.
Yes.
But then here come these 2 girls, and in fact I thought Ariel, who's the firstborn, I thought that she was, when I learned my wife was pregnant, I thought that's the boy.
Yeah.
Gaze what?
Yeah.
Here comes Ariel.
Yeah.
And so it was very interesting that I then had 2 girls following each other.
Yeah.
So I will tell you something.
How many years apart are they?
2 years apart.
2 years apart, okay.
Yeah, so one is... So
Ariel, how old were you when you got your Ariel?
Yes. How old was I? I was
30
something. 31.
31. Okay.
No. I was 31, yes.
Okay.
I was 31. In the year 2000, I was 31.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
When the dinosaurs were roaming the earth. Yeah. When life was in black and white.
Yes.
So I was 31 when Ariel was born.
Yeah.
And then I was 33 when Michaela was born. Wow.
Where in life were you at that point? Were you into, of course, you were doing music
already?
Were you into ministry already?
Yeah, so after Michaela was born, I started the church.
Okay.
So I was in music before that. So I was a famous musician who's now stepped out of the famous music sort of spot to now be
family man.
Well, to become a pastor, become the pastor of this church.
Yeah.
So my girls grew up as pastors' kids. That is that makes a significant difference with how the kind of pressure that they felt.
Exactly.
Regardless of... So what I tried to do was allow them to just be.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, listen, life is hard enough just being alive.
Yeah.
Without this pressure that many church kids, pastors' kids now have. You know, if you're in church, you have to behave a certain way.
Yeah.
You have to be a certain way. I forget that, you know, even if you're just a deacon or an elder's kid, it becomes a problem. You know, people have these expectations of you.
Of course.
That is vicarious. It's actually vicarious because it's not you. They expect you to follow after your dad. After you behave yourself like a pastor's kid.
They're their own people.
Hey, who told you that I don't want to smoke weed and do what I want to do? Who told you that? That's my dad's business is his business. You know.
That's a really great topic because it is known in so many cases that pastors' kids, of course, they're expected to behave a certain way, but then they end up in a different direction. Which is not that it's a bad thing because they're their own person. But how is there even a balance? How do you?
What tends to happen is I've known this because the pastor's kids, the bishop's kids, the pendulum swings in the opposite direction. It says everything my dad told me to do, I'm going to do the opposite.
Is it rebellion? Is it pressure?
It's both. It's pressure and rebellion. So you imagine if you're a teenager and there's this mold that you're supposed to fit into. And I just felt I don't want my kids to be like Bishop so and so's kids. I don't want the country or the city to know, because now you're famous and then so there was just all this pressure. There's pressure of being a famous dude and being a pastor. That it doesn't help.
It's two big things actually.
But when I left the stage and when I left the church, I was dad and the other name that my wife calls me that I will not take. And so, I mean, and my wife constantly reminded me, and I remember Barack Obama saying this about Michelle, saying, hey, he's coming home. He says, can you believe I spoke at this big Democratic Party thing? And she says, and on your way home, just pick up a couple of pints of milk. That is the reality. I was coming home going via Nakumat on the way home because Nakumat was, just for the viewers who don't know, a long time ago.
When dinosaurs roamed.
So Nakumat was the place. You just went by Nakumat to get your milk, the supermarket to buy the milk and whatever. So that this is not a plug for our future sponsor.
And yeah, being a pastor, and again back to that topic with your kids, like how do you instill the values, of course, that you want to instill as a father, even outside the fact that you were a pastor, and the guidance that you give them, to even tell them that, listen, you don't have, it's not that you have to follow the same path that I follow, and what do you actually want to do with your life, and how open do you make that, like all those interactions and conversations, and especially with girls, because also they want a lot of guidance from their dads, and going out into the world where it's a crazy world out there, and having, giving them, showing them that, you know, that you are loved. This is where this is home that you come to when you're going through whatever you're going through as a young girl, as a young woman.
As a woman, There's two things that I must say about that were very. It's different. Because when they were really small, you know, I'd wash them, I'd feed them. Because now my wife had, I was working from home before working from home was a thing. So I was working from home. And then Christine would be just doing the thing. She's the one who had a more, and one of us had to have a stable something where you know she's, and so she became the rhythm. And I think it helps to have somebody who's sober. My wife is more private. She's a more private person. She's the more sober-minded person. And even though I seem very controred, very focused,
she's on another level.
In comparison to this woman, I am on ADHD. I have ADHD and all the other things. And I need Adderall. She was my Adderall. So. There's two things that I think I want to say about this whole situation. One is that I've had this conversation with my daughters, and I said to them, look, I don't care what you do or what happens out there. I want you to always be able to come home. So, and I'm serious. I said, listen, I don't care what you do. If you go and you kill somebody, come home first. Explain it to us, then we will sort out whatever we have to do afterwards. So whatever you do, just know that you can always come to me. And this is one thing that I think men have to do for their daughters, so that it gives them permission to be safe, because women need a place called safe.
So safety is the number one for you.
So that number one thing was for my daughters, so that they feel safe. And the one thing I strived to do, and maybe we should invite them. So what did you? How did you feel? Is that my goal was to provide safety for them, so that they know. And one of the biggest compliments is when my daughter said, "Oh, Dad, you guys made our life so simple." We were during the 2007-2008 post-election violence. We were recording Wakenya Pamoja. And we were having this conversation last week when I posted something on my IG about Wakenya Pamoja.
Did you do it together? Was it?
No. Wakenya Pamoja was now. This was just before you guys. And it was difficult because if you lived on the other side of town, coming to RK's studio where we recorded was impossible. There's some people who we invited to come, but just didn't make it because people were being shot. My daughter says we were completely oblivious of what was going on. So Ariel was 7. Ariel was 7. Michaela was 5. But we told them, listen, at this time, this is what you have to do. If we say leave and we have to go, if we say lie down, it doesn't matter. This is what you need to do. If you say this is the instruction. So this was the conversation. They were reminding us, Ariel was reminding me that, no, we were oblivious of how difficult the time was. And that to me is the compliment to say safety. And then the second thing I wanted to say is that it broke my heart when Michaela, the younger one, says, you have no idea, Dad, how difficult it is just being a woman, walking around the city and constantly having these catcalls and negative things that men are saying. Somebody's groping you, somebody's doing whatever. And I was heartbroken because I had set this standard. For this is what a man should be. So, and that's the thing, Oedipus complex is a reality. The picture that they have of you, the picture that my girls have of me, of a man is me. Then even when, there's some dude hanging around and he's looking like he's interested, I had to pull my reins. You know how your immediate instinct, and I remember Nameless did a really funny thing about now Tumiso, his daughter, and the guy trying to date his daughter. And the instinct is to be protective, because as a man you want to protect.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I said, the reason we're like that is because we know our dudes.
We know exactly.
We know how dudes are. But I then said, I want to be protective, but then also I have to be realistic. I have to be realistic and say, I am like this. This is what you should expect from a man.
Yeah.
But then this is what the world is really like. Yeah. And so I've had to then pull the reins in and to myself and then say, please remember that whatever it is that they're seeing in that dude, whoever he is, that's you. Yeah. So the whole idea of, being the maverick, when everybody's zigging, I'm zagging.
Yes.
That's going to be, that's going to come out in these dudes. Yeah. The rebel. Yeah. So if they're attracted to a rebel, it's because of you.
It's because you are.
If they're attracted to
person,
an artsy intellectual, it's because of you.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing that I realized, that oh my goodness, I'm painting this picture.
Yeah.
So it's too late for me to change because now they're whatever. But that's the picture that they have of a man.
Yes.
So I very early I had to be conscious of this. Maybe
did you have to make any changes? Sorry, you actually
absolutely.
Finished
in fact, I'm going to that just now.
Yeah.
Before I got married, I said, my kids, because my father was an alcoholic, I said my kids will never see me violent or drunk. I just made that. I said, I'm going to get married.
Yeah. I'm
just not going to touch. So the reason I have no problem with, hey, you want to drink, that's your business, you want to whatever, but I just don't do it.
Yeah.
And people said, no, because you're a Christian, you don't drink. I said, no.
That's not the number one reason, actually.
I'm very liberal in my understanding of it. But I don't drink because I had this experience with alcoholism. Yeah. Which means that from the gene side, it's there. So I then say, okay, I'm just not going to expose my kids to the thing that I just don't want to have them to have to rehash what I did.
Yeah.
And so those are the promises that I made. Yeah. So of course I had to make changes. I had to then say, okay, there's some things that I have to do. Some places I have to then say, I'm not going to take my kids there, or when they were younger, or let me make a deliberate effort to now say every year we're going to go on a holiday. And the truth is I wasn't, I'll be honest with you. People say this story about the pastors being wealthy. We were struggling. It's not like that. Yeah, we were struggling. Most pastors I know were struggling.
Yes.
But then God made a way for us to every year go on holiday, go somewhere. And so the kids grew up knowing national parks, wildlife. In fact, if you ask them, were you guys really suffering when you were young? They tell you no.
What is suffering?
Yeah, what is suffering? Because by some strange twist of fate, they ended up at Brookhouse School, which is one of the best schools in the country, not the city, certainly in the city, if not the country. Yeah. And so they ended up in that space, just one foot after the other. And so the last the last segment, the last bit that I had of them just before they got into adulthood was in a space like that. So yes, my goal was this, and this is what I say to people: there's no man that I know who doesn't want a better life.
Definitely,
I want a better life for you. A normal person operating with the number will say, "I want better for you."
Yeah, I definitely that's the case. However, I'd say not every young man would know how to maneuver to become this person that they need to become to for their kids. And you are into mentorship quite a bit with young men and women.
Yes.
And what would you say? So let's say a young 25-year-old boy comes up to you that you've known and comes up to you and is like, oh, Paps. Paps.
I got a text like that yesterday.
Is it? Okay. It's like, Paps, I am expecting a child. And it could be whatever situation. It could be maybe they're with a partner or not, or just like as a man, this happened. Yeah. And I'm expecting, this is how it is. This is how it is. I'm expecting a child. What would you say? How would you guide this young person?
Wow.
to, of course there's many ways, but just what comes to your mind? Like what would you tell this young person? Be like, this is what you need to do. This is what guidance would you give them?
Yeah. I think there's the natural instinct to be there as a provider, because the man, for the first few years of life, the role of parenting really is heavily on the mother. Yeah, heavily dependent on the mother, because women are wired. Yeah, because I don't have breast milk. Yes, I just don't. Yeah. So just naturally, there's that bonding with the child that happens with the mother. That is not to say that I'm excluded.
Yes.
So I would say, listen, number one, be present. I think that one of the things that is important in early childhood is presence. Just can we be present? So finding a way to be present. And that is bath time.
Yeah. Oh,
Total. Learn how to wash the baby. Bath time, bedtime, and sometimes feeding time.
Of course.
So finding a way. And again, I remember when Barack Obama was in the White House, he said something. He said he was, without fail, wanted to be home by 6:30 to have dinner with the girls.
Yes. I've heard that as well. From him.
Fun fact. My dad and his dad went to school together.
Oh,
fun fact.
Which school is that?
Maseno.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
So, well, that's just random.
As low as we are all related to Obama.
We're all related. So my wife's family is from Alego. My wife's mom's family from Alego. Yes, just across the road. So I call. Yeah. I tell her, please tell your cousin.
Yeah. Cousin. Obi.
Yeah. So number one, presence.
Yes.
So I said all that.
And that would be presence for you, as you say.
Yes, being present.
Bath time and stuff like that.
Because I know that, again, I was saying this during my dad's time. My dad's time, the roles were very clear. But in the growing in Gen X and then coming, in fact, millennials. When millennials started showing up being parents, the monkey wrench was thrown in, and the roles are just not clear anymore. And so I say, you guys have such a difficult time in just dealing with what's a husband, what's a parent, whatever. Yeah. But I'll generalize and say, a 25-year-old now is Gen Z. Yes. I'd say your presence is important.
Yeah.
The child doesn't know. A little child, up until maybe 3 or 4, maybe even 5, doesn't know who's providing. So I know that there's this whole big thing like, you must be the provider.
Yeah, they don't know about that.
They don't know about that. Up until 3, 4, 5 years old, they don't know about that.
Yeah.
After 5, they begin to notice.
Like, you go to work because I got to get this when you do this.
I think daddy has more money than mom, or mom has more money than daddy because X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
But then also there's the reality of in the world. So the one is presence, but the second is loving the mom.
Yeah.
Regardless of what the situation is. I think sometimes, so if you're in a situation where you're not in the same house as the mother, I think there's the whole question of being respectful and helping, because that helps them see that, okay, my dad and my mom, because my kids grew up, and the older they got, the more parents grew apart.
Yes.
So millennials are the first generation.
Yeah.
The first generation to have massive cases of divorce.
Yes.
Because in Gen X, it was still a little bit taboo. In my parents' generation, you rarely see. I mean, these guys stuck it out. They stuck it out.
Yeah.
But millennials are the one who, at the slightest pinprick, deuces, baby.
Yeah.
So being present, I realized being present and respectful towards the mother teaches the child about respect, about boundaries. It's an invisible thing that you're doing. And then one of the things one of my mentors taught me is being able to talk to the child as a little person, not speak to them as a child, speak to them as a little person, having a relationship with this child and helping them to understand in their 3-year-old way that this is what the situation is. And so it takes some dexterity because then I found that every time I was talking to my kids, I would go down to their level and stand at eye level rather than talk down to them. And this is what I do with kids. My wife tells me all the time, By the way, this is the baby whisperer that kids just love. Uncle Pete. They love Uncle Pete because Uncle Pete is always, not that I give them, but there's some chemistry, some connection. Because kids like somebody who's authenticity. That's what I say.
Yes.
So those are the things. So again, presence giving them creates the boundaries, shows them safety, teaches them respect. And then, there's that rhythm. They begin to understand that life has rhythms. Life has rhythms. Okay, this is what happens. And so that's what I would say is the thing for me that I would tell the 25-year-old. And for every 25-year-old who has a kid, there's just, situations are different. There's people who have special needs children who have, I mean, the bandwidth that is needed there enough. So you just, also the other thing is just with children, being a father requires patience. But I'll say maybe the last thing about that, now I'll say is a self-awareness.
Yes.
Because
how do you get to that point of self-awareness? Because
I think there's personal growth. A
lot of personal growth. Because as a young person, as a young man in this case, because you're talking about fatherhood, like I always say, it's my thing that I say that when you are in your 20s is now when you're a toddler in life. Life in itself.
Yes.
You're
absolutely.
a toddler. Then you get to your 30s, 40s, now you're a teenager in life. And then now you mature, and that's why I love so much wisdom.
We expect that by the time somebody gets to 14, 15, they're mature. But I realize now, and listen, I'll tell you something. Here's something funny. The frontal cortex, that part that makes decisions, they say is not developed until 21, 25. Some people even say until 27. I say, okay, so great. But having said that, I feel that your youth doesn't preclude you from becoming self-aware. From being aware that I'm hurting somebody by saying this. So I feel that that's what, to me, that personal growth is, just aware that there are other people on the planet and I'm affecting them with what I say and what I do. So that comes from mentorship. It comes from exposure. Some people are just childish because they're just not exposed. Yes. And then they've been told. This is one of the experiences I think I found in the church, is that there's an inauthenticity in a lot of churches in how parents are. So there's this picture of the pastor and his wife are perfect. So the pastor and his wife, somebody said to me, that our church was the first place they went to found somebody who was real. And that's for another reason, but altogether. But the reality is, no, the pastor and his wife never fight. And the truth is, they have intense moments of fellowship or whatever.
As anybody does.
But the reality is, bringing up your girls in this thing, and somebody told me just recently, they said, I was in Narok. This guy is now a senior gynecologist and whatever, but he came to our church. He said he's watched me and saw how I related with my wife and with my daughters, and he said this recently, he realized how difficult what I was going through and how much grace I carried. So I say, Mazee ni God mazee. God alinisaidia sana. But the reality on the ground is that for much of the time, many of our parents, we were winging it. But here's an important thing. I realized early that how I'm treating my parents, how my kids see how I'm treating my parents, is how they will treat me. I'm teaching them also how to treat me in my later years.
Yes. So that's true. That's very, very, very true. Okay. But this episode, I've just been getting nuggets and learning so much from you.
I'm glad.
And further studies, as it is, even though it's a pun, it is all about the fact that you never stop learning.
No, you don't.
In this hood that is the fatherhood. As we wind up now, last, I'd love you to tell me what is the biggest lesson for you as a father, and and looking even back first with your daughters being young, first of all, maybe preteen, and now they're going into the world where they'll go out and get married if they want to, or whatever it is that they're going into their careers and blossoming into the world. You'll have to let them go. I love it. Some point. So what is the biggest lesson you've learned or even just speak about that.
You said something interesting. There was one, I think it was Madaraka Day in 2005.
Yeah.
When I think it was Michaela, I think it was 2005, when Michaela, we did a picnic, a church picnic. So we went out to the park.
So she was 5 now?
I think she was 5. No.
Michaela was 3.
No. Michaela would have been 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was riding a bike. She was learning how to ride a bike.
Yes.
So I don't know that it was 2005. Well, around that time. And as she was riding, I realized something. That when kids are learning how to walk, they have their hands raised and they're walking towards you.
Yeah.
Kids are learning how to walk.
As they expect you to hold them.
Yes. So this is the dance that we do with the kids. Is that when they're learning to walk in their early years, what you're doing is you're there to catch them if they fall.
Yeah, yes.
Because that's this my hands are raised walk of posture.
Yeah.
When they start learning how to ride a bike, they're riding away from you.
Yes.
Because the bike is not riding towards you. It's always going to be riding away from you.
Yeah.
And there was this ad, I don't remember what it was. I think it was Vaseline Intensive Care or something.
Yeah.
And the ad had this dad seeing the baby biking away.
Yeah.
And that's a reality that we have to begin to understand. I think it's easier for fathers than for mothers.
Yeah.
This releasing. But the day they learn how to ride, start releasing that child.
Already.
Start releasing that child. Because that child is just about to get to the place, especially in the urban areas, where they're going to say, Dad, Mom, for my birthday, I would like... Because, before you were planning their birthdays.
Yes.
So, but as soon as they start riding, please understand that it's only a few more years that you have left with them in that thing. So when I see this, I remember those days with great fondness. But as they begin to grow and we have to release them more.
Yeah.
In the teen years, what you have to be is, there has to be a good cop and a bad cop.
Yeah.
And you have to decide which one are you. And more often than not, with the girls, I ended up being the good cop.
Yes.
Because then they would get away with some things.
Yeah.
But then those boundaries must be drawn, and your kids know they know
who to
well.
go to, and
they know you well.
Yeah.
But the thing we taught them early is that because, and I teach when I was doing premarital counseling, I say if you don't share the same values, your kids are gonna play one parent against the other. So one parent values truth telling, the other one does not.
Yes.
And so they will know who to go to in order to get away with whatever it is. That's why I say when you're getting married, find somebody who shares your values. Because if not, then in those cross places in life, it'll become distinctly clear.
Yeah.
But as you grow up later is now as they become adults, and girls generally tend to
grow faster.
I would say mature faster.
Is the word,
mature faster. So that by 13, 15, these kids are already having adult conversations with you. Because they had adult conversations with their parents, because, with their mother or whatever it is. Girls, when they get to puberty, they have the conversation.
Yes.
Don't play with boys, or whatever permutation of that conversation is. But as the kids grow, as they come to 15, we have to change again. So this is the thing that I write about in my book, is that understanding your seasons. That now my kids at 25 don't need a strict disciplinarian. In fact, they do not need that dude.
Yes.
That dude, in
fact, they will rebel and run away.
So, kill that dude. What they need now is an adult relationship.
Yes.
Somebody who understands that I'm giving you room to be you. My daughter told me something today as we were driving here. She said, I'm so glad that you allowed us and taught us how to drive before we went to driving school. Because then, you're in the space where you can teach them and they're learning things from it. I said the one thing I'm going to do, because I have girls. My girls will never receive a gift from a dude first. They'll receive a gift. Flowers from me. Jewelry from me first. I love you from me. So that they will know that they're loved, they're appreciated. So I don't know that there's a dude who's going to come and teach my girl with, hey, baby, what's going on?
Then they're confused. They're like, what is this?
Because
they've never
my
experienced
daughters
it.
will roll their eyes at that.
Like, this is all you can do.
Yeah, is that it?
This is it?
Is that it? And my girls with their things.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say that those are the things that you have to deliberately do. And I feel I've watched other parents with their boys, and the thing that I can say to the boys is the same thing: is be present, be real with the boys, and having the 5-year-old conversation with him, having the 10-year-old conversation with him, and you'll be surprised what 10-year-olds know nowadays. 10-year-olds are incredibly wiser than our 10-year-olds.
Absolutely.
So 10-year-olds having that conversation and teaching them what a man, what being a man is really about. Thresholds of pain.
Yeah.
What the responsibilities of being a man are, because part of the reason men are afraid of committing in marriage is because they understand responsibility. And I hear women saying, "Men don't want to commit." I say, hey, because you have no idea. I mean, something happens to you when I'm in your care. There's not going to say that the girl went and did something crazy to herself. What did you do to my daughter? That's the question that comes. Ulifanya nini? Because we're given that responsibility. And that's a thing that I feel requires some understanding, that we have to teach our men that, listen, when there's coming a time when everything will be on your shoulders. Do the press-ups now. Do the press-ups now. Please understand. Understand that even though it may seem unfair, but this is what's expected of you. And as a man, I'm not saying you shouldn't cry, but please understand that when there's chaos or some kind of fracas,
you're the house, pillar.
You're the one who they're going to look to. They're looking at your face. I can see my daughter's looking at my face to try and read how should I behave now that this has happened, Dad. So that's the thing.
There's so much to talk about now that you've opened another whole Pandora's box.
Haven't I? Yeah, you have, this was not deliberate.
It was not deliberate. Yes. Okay, so one last thing, and we can make it brief. What would you say? Because so the thing is, for me, of course, fatherhood, parenthood. There's no guidebook, right? Yeah. And unfortunately, there's no guidebook. And even speaking to someone that is way more experienced in that hood than I am, I have a 6-year-old. You have 20-year-olds. 26 is, oh wow. What if you're free to talk about, what do you think is just one even a mistake in quotes that you?
I'm glad you asked that.
You feel you have made on the way, and you acknowledge it, and you're like, yes, this is something that I did, and you don't beat yourself over it. Maybe at that time you did. And you're like, I'm not gonna do this again, because we all make mistakes.
There's many, but I think here's the question: if I was to do it over again, I'm reframing the question. If I was to do it over again, what would I do differently? One of the other things is cushioning. I feel that there's some things I exposed my kids to that they shouldn't have been exposed to at that time, because I didn't know better. I didn't know better, and after looking back and therapy and what have you, you can look back and say, okay, I think I handled this kind of whatever. I should have done better on this one. And I feel there's occasions when I was overly strict because of some of my personal fears and insecurities, what other people would think of me being reflected, giving in to the social pressure of being a pastor.
I wanted to ask that question actually earlier on.
The social pressure of being a pastor and then imposing that on my kids. That's what I feel that I should have shielded them a lot more. I'm not saying that I was careless about that. I think on a few occasions I can remember where I gave into the pressure of now the perception. And I remember hearing myself saying, there was this occasion when one of the kids got in trouble at school, and it came out, do you know who you are?
Yeah, whose daughter you are.
Yeah. And what kind of pressure is that?
Yeah.
That kind of pressure. Yeah. So the better conversation would have been,
yes,
do you remember that these were our boundaries? This is what we said. This is what we said. These are our values. This is what we as a family have. This is what you said as your boundary. Why have you done this?
Yeah.
I mean, of course, the children understood. The thing is, they picked up way early that, hang on, my dad is different. My dad is different. So they picked up that, number one, their dad was different in that the values and standards, but they also picked up something different, that my dad was different in how I treated them, I treated them, because their friends weren't treated the same way. Yes. So then our house became refuge. So that, again, I say, it's a thing that I say African pastors have to be careful about. And there's some people who will say, no, I disagree. But allowing people into your space sometimes is the big no-no. Keeping that privacy, I think, is important, as especially if you're a public figure, whether you're a politician, a preacher, or whatever it is. I think creating a safe space for your kids that is not constantly overrun by
who
people.
You are.
You know, some mafans wako tu nyumbani, you know, or you know, washirika wako nyumbani, they're in your face, they take your kids' things as though your kids won't miss it. That kind of thing is unfortunate. And I feel that there's inevitability of spillover. Once people know where you live,
that's it.
So one of the things I fiercely tried to do, even though I know that on a couple of occasions I failed on that, is that I tried to keep them private, not to expose them. Before time. And you see parents doing this now with social media. They put a love heart on their face. Yes. I'd say, you know, the kids are growing up in a very different world.
Different era. Man, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much,
welcome. No, thank you for inviting me. I enjoyed it quite immensely.
You're doing an amazing job always. I look up to you in many ways. You know, I always look for you when I feel I need someone to talk to. So thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
And we'd love to now give you your flowers.
Okay.
Physically, because
actual flowers.
Actual flowers.
Wow.
These are what flowers are these again? She's blank.
They're the ones that
just know they are very beautiful flowers.
Yeah, thank you. Wow.
Please water them.
Yes, we will water.
Yes, water them, and that is. And I will send you more gifts. Actually,
I don't know who told you that I liked flowers.
But how many times have you gotten flowers? More than me, I'm sure.
But
I've got it twice.
Yeah, it's countable because people then give you these guy gifts.
Socks. and a watch and a tie.
A watch if they're if they're really being nice to you. But thank you. I appreciate this so much. And I will cherish this moment. We will do a screenshot of this me fawning over the flowers.
Bless you. I hope you get home in time so that they can be watered.
No, don't worry about it.
Because you live in another passport area. But
yes. Jirani wetu ni Tanzania.
But thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you for the flowers.
Bless you and your family and you know everyone. Thank you for blessing us for all these years. Thank you for guiding us in so many ways that you don't even know.
Thank you.
So bless you, man.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure and an honor to really just see very few people live in the fruit of the trees that they planted. And I feel that it's a thing about pioneers and a thing about fathers. You plant a tree so that your children and your children can eat the fruit. A mango tree is not for you. A mango tree is for your children and your grandchildren.
Yes.
So I'm just blessed to be to be alive to see the fruit of the things that I did in the music arena, as a cultural icon and what those things. But then also to be here to see my daughters become adults and live in a very different world from mine. So thank you for the opportunity also just to be in front of your audience and to show the audience, just bare my soul before the audience and try and help people understand what it really means to be a man in postmodern Africa, to be a father, to be a husband, to really just be all these different things that we are, that nobody explained to us.
Yeah.
I'll say one last thing.
Yes.
In my 50s, I was not ready for my 50s because nobody sat me down and said to me, this is what to expect.
Is it true life begins at 40, 50?
I don't know that life begins. I just think that there are some things that I was not told.
Yes.
I wasn't told that the gray will bring other things with it.
Yeah.
That today I was saying, I can't wait for these things to come, but the gray will bring other things with it because now more of these younger women come and are hitting on you. There's just this whole different world about slowing down. Nobody talks, and one day we'll talk about andropause. Everybody talks about perimenopause and menopause.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody. I've not heard one single podcast. About
I shall invite you back. I shall invite you back.
I will talk about that and about how I'd never been sick, never been in hospital, never spent a night in hospital until I was 15.
Yes.
4 years ago.
I remember that.
Again. Yeah. So those are things that I was not prepared for, and so having to now mitigate for that and change, just transition into. It's super frustrating because I'm a naturally impatient person.
Yeah.
So I feel that those different phases in life, it's important to then have help, have the person who can say to you, this is what to expect. So I'm grateful for mentors.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for mentors, and I just feel that there needs to be more of a conversation with people about these different phases. With modernity, what happened is those rites of passage were eroded, and so now we have to invent rites of passage. But I'm part of the reason I'm trying to be deliberate about mentorship now is to help people understand these transitions. And so the book talks about a little bit about this.
Navigate.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Bless
I appreciate
it. Now, one last thing, please. Would you mind blessing us with a song? Since you are the musician that you are, let's end with.
Okay.
With the akatune, we can jawaya
some
it
tunes,
away.
Some tunes.
Since my brand baby is here.
Yeah. Oh, I get the good one.
Yeah, they're both good.
I get the.
You get the gang, green gang. This is our song.
Rudi nyumbani, nasikia sauti kweli inaita njoo. Rudi nyumbani, nasikia sauti kweli inaita njoo. Rudi nyumbani, nasikia sauti kweli inakuita njoo. Rudi nyumbani, nasikia sauti kweli inakuita njoo. On the floor.
Pick someone. I want you to call somebody, and actually, it'd be great if it's someone that you've grown up with and had fatherhood journey with.
Okay.
And just tell them how great of a father they are.
Okay. Yeah. I know who. Let's talk to Uncle Jack.
Jack Odongo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great.
So are you rolling?
Yes, it is rolling. And then you can put on the microphone so we can hear. And pass my love to you.
Uncle Jack.
It's been a while. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I wanted to just call. I was in the middle of a podcast, And they said I should call someone who has acted as a father. We're doing a podcast on fatherhood. So they said I should call somebody who has been a father figure, played that role in my life. And so I just wanted to call you and just tell you thank you for doing that.
Okay, I'm kind of stunned at the moment, but for whatever value was inputted into you, I'm thankful to God.
Yeah.
It's always been a privilege to get to know you and listen to some of your incredible music.
Well, thank you. Thank you for serving. And I know that in the absence of my natural father, just thank you for all the lessons. What was that thing that Mrs. Downing used to do is whacking my fingers over the piano. I say metaphorically, when I was being silly, just being able to be patient with me and teach how to do things, how to treat children. I was watching you with your sons, and that taught me how to just deal with my girls.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've just blown my mind, because the older one gets, the more fallible, and you look back at your life and you say, I should have done this different, that different, and oops, I blew it there. I really blew it there, and maybe I made it across in some things. So for you to call is mind blowing and very, very touching.
So thank you again. You're absolutely welcome. Thank you for your sacrifice and for just pouring out, not just for me and for the many others who look up to. So thank you. I don't want to take up too much of your time. This is just your flowers by phone.
Flower power. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. I will bring the actual flowers at your abode, where you're domiciled at your abode.
Domicile, abode, yes. Your vocabulary always
ensconced in your domicile.
Yes. More like entrenched now.
Entrenched. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Greetings from Polycarp. Polycarp.
If he remembers me.
If you remember Polycarp from Sauti Soul.
Oh my gosh. Give them all my greetings.
All the greetings. There. Yes. And Henry Wamaya, who I know you know very well.
Oh my goodness. Back to the future.
Back to the future. Blessings, Jack. Thank you so much.
Yeah, have a great day. Bye. Thanks for calling.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful, man. Yeah, he's been great. We're gonna call this section "Flowers Over the Phone."
Flowers over the phone.
Yes, thanks. Bless you, man. Bless you. Thank you so much. As you listen or watch from wherever you are in the world, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment, and follow Father Studies Podcast.